Tell us what you did and why.
I ended up intervening because I saw a woman surrounded by quite a large group of EDL members, and she looked quite intimidated, and I don't think she was very comfortable in that position. I wasn't comfortable with her being there either.
What did you say?
In that position, I couldn't really get to her physically, so the most I could do was agree with her verbally in that I do believe they are racist, as that's what she was saying as well. And that's what I ended up doing, and then I was identified as someone who opposed the EDL, and it kind of stemmed from there, my involvement.
Okay, so what were you saying verbally? I'm trying to imagine the scenario at that moment and the atmosphere.
Well, personally, actually, I was saying racist scum off our streets.
And do you know what was being said to her, or what the kind of the attitude towards her was that led to you intervening?
Yeah, well, it was you're not British, kind of putting a lot of questions about Islam as a religion and the way that it's carried out in various countries to her, and she's not a spokesperson for a religion, so I don't think that was her responsibility to answer it or be targeted for all those questions.
And the moment when you're pretty close up to the EDL protester, the photograph shows you smiling. Did you have a conversation with that man?
I mean, there was very little conversation to be had. I think his aggression can be seen through the picture. I didn't say very much to him, and I can't exactly remember what he was saying to me, but I think the picture afterwards kind of sums it up because his finger was in my face. It wasn't a pleasant interaction.
How is it that you're smiling?
How is it that I'm smiling? I don't know. Sometimes it's more important to smile than to shout, and I did a fair bit of shouting. I'm under no delusion of that, but it's a more powerful message a lot of the time.
I read that your dad said he'd brought you and your sister up always to stand up to prejudice. Is that right?
100%, yeah. Yeah. I mean, facing people like this, it's not something that I'd want to do. I'd love to live in a place where we didn't have vulnerable women put in these situations. But yeah, always stand up to it. I have no fear towards the EDL.
Why do you have no fear?
Physically, I'm not intimidated by them in the slightest. It's their own ideologies which are flawed, and I can't feel intimidated by someone or a group of people who have opinions like that. I mean, I don't feel intellectually intimidated at all, so that's why I don't feel fear for them.
You know, they say apparently you interrupted a minute's silence for terror attack victims.
I'd like to make it very clear. People that know me, even a very low level of understanding, would tell you and vouch for you and vouch for me in saying that a minute's silence held by anybody from either side, whether it be EDL or UAF, I would have happily respected. But the fact of the matter is, and video evidence shows it as well, there wasn't a minute's silence while I was there. It's an attempt at smearing because the situation is in my favour.
The Birmingham MP, Jess Phillips, you probably saw one of her, I mean, there were a number of tweets about you in the photograph, but the one that's been picked up the most really, who looks like they have power here? The real Brummie on the left, or the EDL who migrated for the day to our city and failed to assimilate? I mean, as a message, the image, because of your smile, is powerful, isn't it?
Yeah, I think very unintentionally it became a very, very powerful picture. And yeah, it's been a strange experience for it to go viral as well.
What do you think about the fact that it's gone viral? What does it say?
Well, it kind of instills a hope about communities and the power of people who oppose the EDL, because often we see kind of Antifa in black bloc, which is kind of head to toe in black. They're not people we can relate to. They look aggressive. They look like thugs. Whereas when you see a girl who's quite young, getting involved with things like this, more people are willing to help and support. So I think it's had an amazing response.
Thank you very much for talking to us.